This is my custom man-face dynamic head, and you can use it for your Roblox animations for free. Before you use it though, I'll show you how to use the rig, and I'll also show you how to export your animations into Roblox Studio. Okay, so this is what's inside the Blender file. It's just the rig itself and nothing else. So to use the rig, it's actually pretty straightforward. So this is your rig interface. You'll be mostly animating with this. There are two more collections here that are hidden, but these are not what you would be animating with. So this is your eye control. It moves the pupils. Just don't be too extreme on it because you'll get stuff like that. You can also move them independently, like so. This is your not brow control. These are your eye controls. So you can control the blinking. You can also move this lower part of the eye up as well. You can also control this corner part here for additional adjustment as needed. These are your brow controls. It's pretty straightforward to use, just a couple of controls that you can move up and down. You can also move them side to side to define the form a bit better. Once again, just don't be too extreme with the movement though. And same thing for this control. If you move it too far, it's gonna clip past a boundary and it will just break the rig. So the mouth is arguably what might be the most complex part of this rig. Probably something that you'll have a bit of a hard time to understand. So these are your lip controls, not lip controls, these are your mouth controls. And these just define the shape of your mouth and just shape it to however suits your needs. You can rotate them and change their position. And I think you can also control the scale. Yeah, you can also control the scale to also define the sharpness of the points. So let's say you have something like this. So the teeth controls, these gears here, they control the visibility of the teeth mesh. So if you scale these up, it will disappear. Scale them down, or like bring them back to default scale, it will bring the teeth back. It'll make the teeth visible. Same thing with this one here. You can also control the definition, the shape of the teeth using these 6 controls here. These 3 correspond to the upper teeth. These 3 correspond to the lower teeth. These arrows here control this part of the teeth, the part that connects to the skull and such. This here controls this part of the teeth, the side that you would be biting. So you can use the scale, translation, and rotation to control the shape of this teeth. And yeah, that's a quick rundown of how to use the rig. It's a bit, I'd say the only complex thing about using this rig would be the mouth, especially the teeth, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward to use. Here's a short animation that shows you how the controls work together. So while it's fairly basic, it should be more than enough for, at least for me, it's more than enough than what's needed. So how would you animate this on your R6 or R15 Roblox character in Blender? Well, it's pretty simple. So make sure that your rig is in its default pose, your R6 or R15 rig. I'll just unparent this to show you. So if you haven't already, make sure that you position your dynamic head onto your character's head or wherever you desire properly before you do this. Now once you've done that, you go to your R6 or R15 rig, go to the skeleton, find the head bone. I am specifically looking for the deformation head bone. You make sure that's selected. Go to object modes, select your rig. While you're still in object mode, don't go into pose mode. Then you select your R6 or R15 rig, Control P, and parent to bone. And now your custom man face dynamic head will be parented to that head bone. And so you'll be able to animate with the dynamic head rig with your character normally. So because these are two separate rigs, you have to animate them separately. But it's just how it's designed, and it just works much better this way. So let's say you already finished your animation, and you've already exported your R6 or R15 animation into Roblox Studio using whatever plugins you desire. And now you want to export the head animation. You select the rig and the two meshes, which is the face and teeth mesh. Then you go to Export FBX. Make sure your operator presets are set to these. Make sure you limit the selection to selected objects. Set the scale to 0.01. Make sure that only deformed bones is checked on under armature. Then under animation, set the sampling rate to 1 and set the simplify to 0. So that's that, and you should be good to go when you export the animation. To import your Roblox animation onto the man face, you go to Moon Animator, go to FBX, and locate your exported animation. So I already have an exported animation, so I'll just find it. It's this one here. So just go to FBX, find your exported animation, and just wait for it to load, and it'll be right there. So that's it pretty much.